a long time since I've seen y'all up here. I hope y'all are doing well. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. So tonight we're going to be talking about fears, and this is something that I just came up with today. So just a couple hours ago I was thinking about fears after reading, go figure, The Magic of Thinking Big again. And it talks about fears and kind of what encapsulates us and how we kind of shrink down a little bit. It's something I talked a little bit about last week. So what I'd like y'all to do, and this is a little bit different, is I'd like y'all to close your eyes for a moment. Okay? Yeah, close your eyes, Al, I see ya. Alright? We're doing this so that I can read off the laptop. That's just a joke. So take a deep breath, and I want you to envision one of your fears. There's like a top 10 fear list out there. It could be public speaking. It could be a social situation. It could be meeting a certain group. It could be flights, dogs, spiders, snakes. Whatever your fear is. Now go ahead and open your eyes and hold on to that image in your mind's eye. And the next thing we're going to be talking about is self-confidence and how these two tie together. So we have a fear and it's working against us. It's something that seems not so far away when it first becomes a fear. It's just a step in front of us. But before we know it, it's not just a step in front of us. It affects our self-confidence because we haven't engaged it at all, that it's more like 2 steps. And then it becomes 3 steps and 4 steps and 5 steps. And we become further and further from it to where we can't engage it. We close in on ourselves, not being able to take action toward it. To do this and engage it takes a tremendous amount as the steps continue to grow longer and longer. So with that fear item, what I'd like y'all to think about is an action step that you can do to engage that fear. So an example might be, let's say you have a fear of spiders. Now I'm not saying go out and stomp on all the spiders that you see out there, but I kind of am at the same time, okay? So if you see a spider and typically you jump away from it, I suggest, you know, maybe like, I don't mean to balk, okay? But maybe, you know, reach for and try to kill it, okay? Because I mean, it will probably kill you. Just do it just for the heck of it, okay? And then after you've created that distance and gap, pull yourself a little bit closer, and the next spider you see, you can step on it. You're that much closer. You've closed the gap. You've built up your self-confidence. You're feeling more confident about who you are. This social situation or public speaking or snakes or spiders or whatever your fear is that's in your mind's eye, you're engaging it, you're feeling empowered now. So you get to move forward and move through it. Now what I'm doing tonight is kind of different. I'm speaking twice. Now, you might not think it, but I got a fear of public speaking. Woohoo! That's right. I'm scared. Oh man. And I used to be really, really scared. But what's happening is that it was a million miles away from me. It was a long way away from me to be able to get up and give that first speech, which was probably about 2 years ago, and I think Al Schwab was there, when I gave my icebreaker. And I moved around from club to club just so that I can feel comfortable enough to be able to talk to a group to get through the 10 speeches. And now the million-mile away mark is moving closer and closer and closer. And I feel more and more confident. And I'm bringing more of myself to the conversation so that y'all get to know me and know who I am, so that it moves you a little bit. Because I believe that all the stories that we have within each other, it all kind of comes back to we all having it within ourselves, if that makes sense, in one way or another. And so by doing that and stepping out and facing that fear, it becomes smaller and smaller and smaller until you crush it. And then once you've crushed that fear, then you take the next fear, which may not be as big, or it could be a smaller fear that you have. Whatever the case may be, it could be something that's like social anxiety, like coming to a meeting or whatever, you know, or a party you're not very familiar with, the people you're going to be meeting. But you go and engage, and then you learn, and you keep an open mind, and so when the next opportunity presents itself, you go out there and you feel more comfortable. And so I encourage you, or I want to persuade you, or prod you, but I don't want to balk. To go out there and engage your fears. Miss Toastmasters.
Timer will take one last minute to do our blow and grow.